Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode on the mental health series we are having on my channel. And today we have Sonali joining in. So Sonali is an psychologist and a great woman. So thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you for inviting me here. It's my pleasure, Lakshit, to be here.
My pleasure again
So,
to have you.
as you already mentioned, that I'm a psychologist with my specialization in rehabilitation and counseling. So, I've worked in various domains, and I've worked a lot with children, and I've worked with special children also. Especially, I've worked in the field of autism, and I've done ABA therapy
Okay.
also. I'm
Okay.
glad to be a part of it.
Thank you again for being here. So first question to you would be like, if you can give introduction, like if you can, tell like what's mental health according to you, that would be great.
So, mental health is something that we feel in our bodies. It's about physical, it's about mental, it's our psychological well being. So, it's the overall well being of an individual. It's not just that our health is being affected, like we have some disease or any medical ailment that we have. It's not just about that, it's about a transformatory. There's no specific medicine for treating mental health, so it's an overall treatment that happens. There are various therapies that can be induced, such as cognitive behavior therapy and all. So these help us in, and this happens over a period of time. It's not immediate. The effect is not very immediate in nature. So that is what is mental health in
Okay.
layman's term.
Okay, great. And today, before starting the session about the like, would you be happy to just give a brief introduction about today's topic?
So today's topic is all about stress and how can we deal with stress. So stress is something that we all face in our day-to-day lives, and it is a very overgeneralized term these days that we all are using, that for small things also we just say that, oh my god, I'm so stressed and this is happening. And especially during the pandemic time, during COVID times, and where we all are at home and working from home, so we have different levels of stress between work life balance, and we have to do a lot of things. So this is something that is, creating stress. These current days that the result is approaching for standard 10th and 12th, they are stressed. The children are highly under pressure that how will they manage? Will they be able to cope up with whatever grades or marks they are getting or not? So this is something that, is really bothering the children. So this is what we are going to talk about in this session, how we are going to deal with stress and how can we relieve our stress.
Okay, like how do you think stress comes in somebody's life? Like how?
Stress just comes in. Initially we get anxiousness, and anxiousness, there can be various triggers that, induce stress. So firstly we have to identify what is the trigger that is helping us that is, making us lead to that stress. So whenever we are under pressure of something that, you know uh, be it exam stress, for example, as I just mentioned about exams. So the child is under so much of pressure that over a period of time it becomes stress. So anxiousness can be for anything. It can be for going into some social situation. Like some people have a lot of anxiousness whenever they are going to some social gathering, and they don't like interacting with people much, so they are very anxious, so they tend to avoid. So these are the things that, trigger us. So we have to find and identify what are the triggers that are affecting us. So
Okay,
this is the major thing.
okay. And how can somebody deal with stress? Like how can
So
somebody deal with
dealing
that?
with
Yeah.
stress, is a six-way mantra, according to me, that I have applied on myself. So it's a six-way mantra with the word stress. S is for sitting and relax. T is for try. R is rejuvenate yourself. E, express yourself. It's always better to express. When one expresses, you can vent out your feelings. And S is for setting your mental health goals right. So one should always practice self-care techniques along with various other measures so that we can keep our mental health a priority, which is very important. And the last S in stress is stop suffering and seek help. So one should always, be ready for seeking help and should not make it a stigma. It's okay to not be okay sometimes. So it's absolutely fine. So one should reach out. So that's what I feel, that these are the simple ways that one can practice in their day-to-day lives. So that's how we can deal with stress.
Okay, and then there are a lot of people who do like just don't want to share something. People who are introvert like just don't like to speak to anybody or want to share something. So how can somebody like help themselves?
So what they can do is they can write down. It's a better way to write down and express. Those who cannot express verbally, they can always pen down their thoughts. They can make a gratitude journal every day. One or the other thing they should write down, so that will help them express themselves and vent out their feelings. And all those people who cannot express very well, they have someone or the other, their safe zone, their safe space that they have. So
Okay.
what they can do is they can reach out to them, talk to them. And it's always better that if whenever you feel that is, if any friend of yours is not feeling well and you feel, it's always better to ask them to reach out to professionals, because it's very important, because you don't get to know yourself that you are not able to lead a functional life, or if it's impacting your functionality, that is also very important. And another thing that I feel that one can do is that if you can just write out your feelings and just crush it, crush the paper and just throw it. So in that way, you can just vent out your emotions on that sheet of paper and just crush it. So the negative thoughts can be, taken into crushed form, and then we just throw that crushed thing. So that will help us vent out our feelings also, and I'm sure we will feel better. A lot of times I've also tried that. Whenever I'm feeling low, so I'll just write it down and just keep it and crush it and just throw it, that I don't want those negative thoughts to come, and I want to replace them with the positive ones. And another thing that we can do is we can always laugh out loud, which is a slang word that we use in our texting language, which I feel that, it's very essential that we should always laugh it out. So, so laughter is the best therapy, as we all know. So it's very important to laugh it out. Our laughing, increases our oxygen level, and it just increases the blood circulation. So which is scientifically proven also.
Yeah.
So we should try that.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. And like you being psychologist, what kind of clients do you have regards to stress? And like which would you like to share a story which is very close to you?
So 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 I deal with a lot of clients, which are mostly of children's age and adolescents. So I recently, what with whom I dealt was in very recent times, was that when the child had a very uh, exam stress sort of a situation where the result is about to come, and they were feeling very anxious that how will my result be, and some of the children could not even give their board exams. So that was something that was troubling them a lot.
Mhm.
So they came up and they said that, what do we do? We don't know how are we going to be graded on the exams that were not. So CBSE has, however, given their guidelines, and but still there is a lot of anxiety between them, that how we can deal with it.
Yeah.
So this is something that I have recently encountered. So what I did with them was I gave them an activity for mandala painting, which is
Okay.
a very common used form of art, where they can just pen down their thoughts and just they can make random spirals. They can do a couple of things. So I this use this sort of a therapy and suggested them that whenever you are feeling anxious or whenever you're feeling stressed, you can make your random drawings, and you can just that was just one form of example that I gave them. That was not exactly a therapy that I did a lot of counseling with them, and I just suggested them that you can, do this activity, and that's how you will feel better whenever you are feeling anxious, or whenever you feel that you're not able to concentrate, and
Mhm.
you are feeling that how will the board exams be. Now I also told them that during this tough time, it's very difficult, and it's for everyone, it's not just for them. So this is how they will be able to distract themselves from the thoughts, and from the various random thoughts that are coming to them regarding their board exams. And I think it's with everyone that they are facing in this current pandemic
Uh-huh.
situation. It's not just with them. So that's what is something that we have to tell all our clients, that it's not they that are suffering alone. So this is very essential.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I've also dealt with a few COVID patients recently. So they had a lot of anxiety about how exactly will we be able to get back to our normal lives, or they had a lot of anxiousness that will we be able to be normal, seeing so many deaths around. It's a very sad situation
Yeah.
outside, but then at that time bringing in some positivity can always help us.
Yes. Yes. It
That's
can.
what we are as psychologists here for, bringing in that hope.
Yeah. Yeah. And before ending this session, what would be your special message, or would you like to add something or speak about something? You just do it now.
So I would just like to say few lines, and I would like to just end it by, जिंदगी एक कविता है, यूं मुस्कुराते रहिए, जिंदगी में बहुत सारी मुश्किलें आएंगी, बहुत सारे वो आएंगे, हर्डल्स आएंगे हमारी जिंदगी में. सो हमेशा हमें उसको हंस के टाल देना चाहिए, एंड
Yeah.
हमें हमेशा स्माइल करके उसको फेस करना चाहिए, चाहे जितनी भी डिफिकल्ट टाइम्स हो, जो भी हो, हमें उसको हिम्मत से और हंसते हुए उसको डील करना चाहिए. सो कीप स्माइलिंग ऑलवेज. दैट्स व्हाट माय मैसेज इज.
Wonderful.
थैंक यू.
Thank you very much for that poem. And yeah, thank you very much for being here. It was my pleasure having you. Thank you.